Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of my wonderful and beautiful little subscribers out there. And how I love you all so, and I hope that you're all super duper well, super duper wonderful, and super duper delicious. And that life is treating you most deliciously wherever you are. So what do we do? 3, 2, 1, my juice little lads. Thank you, little lads. You're delicious and bright. Now then, my delicious little babies. So I've got 2 pieces of information for you today, my little beautifuls. And there is something else I want to say. But the weather at the moment in our old England, well, very, shall we say, it's going extremely dull. And it did say on my dog and bone that, yes, apparently expect rain around 3 p.m. So at the moment it's nearly 2:45, my delicious little babies, in our old England in the afternoon, okay? However long it'll take to upload my video, I have no idea. Sometimes it happens quickly, and other times it takes a little bit longer, you know what I mean, to process, okay? My delicious little babies, so I'm not too sure what all that's about. Anyway, this has been going on a long time now, my delicious little babies. Now then, so yeah, I heard on our lovely Iconic with dear little Jamie and dear little Richard, bless them, Iconic, like I've advertised them yesterday, my delicious little babies, with anybody not in that way, not in that way. On old YouTube, so now they're up to 86,000 subscribers, my delicious little babies. I'm always super duper pleased when I see numbers going up, okay, with anybody who I advertise. This is I didn't know about this story actually, my delicious little babies, but apparently it is in the newspaper. Dear Jamie's dear little wife, bless her, she told Jamie about this. Well, it's not a story; it is reality. My delicious little babies, just draw a line there. This dear couple, bless them, from our old England, and you know the little couple of little wee little young bairns now. Went on holiday to Turkey, my delicious little babies. Okay, only looks like a pretty young couple, my delicious little babies. And that doesn't mean no, I've just got an itch. And apparently what's happened is that the man's dear wife fell poorly, my delicious little babies. Anyway, she ended up in the hospital over there in Turkey, my delicious little babies. Well, very sadly, the dear young woman, his dear wife, passed away, my delicious little babies, okay? And then it got a lot worse, my delicious little babies, and a dear husband to bring his dear wife back to England, my delicious little babies. Then they very sadly found out that her heart was missing, my delicious little babies. Her heart was missing. Did you hear what I just said? Please and thank you, my delicious little babies, okay? Now, when I listen to this, I mean, my heart goes out to the dear family. Bless their dear little souls. And may that poor dear woman rest in peace, bless her. But what is all this about now? I've been talking for months, there we are, for months and months and months and months, on and off, to do with, you know, because there is organ harvesting, okay? It goes on. I still cannot flipping remember the name of it now. What it is in China somewhere, they do. I have mentioned this before. They do. It's all right. My beautiful little Rubes has just come for a stroke. Bless her. All right, my beautiful little baby. Anyway, sorry, my delicious little babies. And what it is, they do like a yoga, and they're super healthy in their bodies. So, and of course, you know, so that means they don't have anything. Do you understand what I mean? Okay. But they have been known, this is very sadly on a regular basis, My Delicious Babies. This has been going on for many, many, many years. There we are, My Delicious Little Babies, guy. And they get kidnapped, off the streets. And then they're kept in a place, and they're given the minimum of food, and until one of their organs is required. My Delicious Little Babies, okay. Now, this is very putrid, what takes place. And I'm very sorry to have to say this, My Delicious Little Babies. So I'm not here to depress anybody or to upset anybody, okay? But this has been going on, there we are, for years, okay? And when they do remove very sadly, the dear mankind's organs, they're usually on a table, My Delicious Little Babies, and well, you know, they're doing it while the dear little souls are still alive, My Delicious Little Babies, okay? And usually, there we are, in excruciating pain. Okay, My Delicious Little Babies, okay? And of course, once they're finished, very sadly, doing what they've done, My Delicious Little Babies, the ones who are involved in this putrid business, they do not, very sadly, let that man or woman, My Delicious Little Babies, stay alive. So, you see, My Delicious Little Babies, this is, it's all right. Sorry, My Delicious Little Babies. Sorry, do excuse me. This is, I'm so sorry to have to say this, My Delicious Little Babies, okay? But this is big business. Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. Very big business indeed. Okay, My Delicious Little Babies, okay? My suggestion is maybe if you was to go it, you know, and just, because, I mean, if I say anything else, My Delicious Little Babies, because it's so YouTube, okay? My Delicious Little Babies, so very sadly I can't. But the point is, put it this way, for certain organs, My Delicious Little Babies fetches a colossal amount of ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. Okay, My Delicious Little Babies. So I've known about this, there we are, for years now. Okay, there we are. Okay, My Delicious Little Babies, and how very, very, very sad. Okay, that you know, it's like there's no caring. You know, if somebody lives or passes away, there's just no care whatsoever. Because for certain who are involved in this, okay, My Delicious Little Babies, they couldn't give a shout. So getting back to this dear little family now from England, My Delicious Little Babies, what dear Jamie and dear Richard were talking about to give out the information, bless them. Well, there could be, because we must remember as well, to do with, okay, My Delicious Little Babies, okay? So, because when I was listening to it, I had different thoughts running through my noddle. So this could have been either maybe, you know, because Jamie said it as well, and I thought, yeah, because, you know, because I already had thoughts going through my noddle, like I said, and yeah. And so this could be maybe they've kept the dear woman's heart, maybe for an experiment or something, or you know, because we do not know whether the little family had taken anything, My Delicious Little Babies, okay? So, you know, but if they did not, then, you know, if the dear woman, bless her, if she had a very healthy heart, well, you know. So we're just not too sure, bless her, where her heart has gone. But I mean, come on. To remove somebody's heart like that, my delicious little babies, okay? So that means that when that dear woman is going to be buried, well, she's not fully there, is she? And of course, I'm pretty damn well sure that her dear husband, bless, would not have consented to have his dear little wife's heart removed. My delicious little babies, it's very, there we are, it's very putrid. Indeed, my delicious little babies, so please, if we could just keep that lovely little family, bless them, in our thoughts and say our prayers for them, because, I mean, that is just a terrible story. But like I said, I've known for some years, my delicious little babies, about these appalling and putrid things now that go on. There we are. It breaks your heart. There we are. It just breaks your heart, my delicious little babies. So it's just terrible. But to do that to that poor dear woman is disgusting, man. Absolutely. You know, I'm pretty sure that she would have survived. So there we are. So what else has gone on here, my delicious little babies? I'm pretty sure that I've got a very good, there we are, idea. Put it that way, my delicious little babies, okay? So very, very, very sad. So we send our love to everybody who's had to go through these terrible and appalling situations, my delicious little babies. Now then, so there's two pieces of information, like I said, my delicious little babies, okay? Both on YouTube, okay? So this one, the first one happens to have 14,000 subscribers, my delicious little babies, okay? And it's called capital C in the old space bar. Should anybody happen to have any form of an interest, my delicious little babies, capital C Cresto, okay? So it's CRESTO space, then it's lowercase. This is the word that's lowercase, adventures, okay, my delicious little babies. So Cresto with a capital C, space, adventures, all in lowercase, my delicious little babies, okay? The video should read, and this actually is just over 7 minutes long, my delicious little babies. So it's not a long video, and it came up on my feed, so the likelihood is that it will be a one-off, my delicious little babies. But and like I say, with anybody not in that way, okay? Should read, the video should read, you won't believe how China City Police, just going over the dots, treat black people. A shocking experience. Okay, my delicious little babies. So I'm just going to repeat that again for you, shall I? You won't believe how China City Police treat black people. A shocking experience. Yes, my delicious little babies. So I'm going to turn the page over, okay? So what this is about, basically, okay? I mean, I personally thought it was a very interesting video, my delicious little babies. And what it is he Nigerian, bless? Anyway, well, he talks fluent Chinese, my delicious little babies, okay, fluent. So when he's talking to the old Bill over there, do you know what I mean? They are very serious, actually, my delicious little babies. You know what I mean? When they're talking to your man there now, okay? They actually did say that he does talk very good Chinese, my delicious little babies, okay? So it is all there, so you can read what's being said, okay? But yes, I was very impressed with his Chinese language, my delicious little babies, okay? Very interesting. In just, there we are, over 7 minutes, my delicious little babies, well worth a watch. Now finally, my delicious little babies, okay? So this one here Again, like I said, he's on YouTube. This uploader happens to have 592,000 subscribers. My delicious little babies, okay, so 592,000. Now, should read, and again, this come up on my feed, so again, this is going to be a one-off, my delicious little babies. Capital F in the old space bar, should anybody have any form of an interest, my delicious little babies, please and thank you. Capital F, funny, space, capital L, local, space, capital N, news. Okay, my delicious little babies, so you should read funny, space, local, space, news. That's the upload of my delicious little babies, okay? Now, this video is just over 25 minutes long, my delicious little babies, okay? And it should read best TV news bloopers fails 2017, my delicious little babies, okay? So I'm just going to repeat that again for you, shall I? Best TV news bloopers fails 2017, my delicious little babies. So I'm just going to now close my book, okay? We must always remember to go backwards to where we need to go back to, my delicious little babies. Just going to pop my book over there. Now then, so what's this about? This is basically, news reporters, okay, my delicious little babies, okay, and, many times throughout the video where, they're not realising that the camera's rolling, my delicious little babies, okay. Just well worth a little watch of that, my delicious little babies, okay. Like I said, should anybody have any form of an interest, okay. And yeah, and I was listening earlier to our lovely, because they're all just so lovely, who I advertise on a regular basis, okay. Our lovely Mal Kay and her dear little partner, Rob. Okay, my delicious little babies. Yeah, and she's giving out some very absolutely banging information. And she's now up to 190,000 subscribers, my delicious little babies. So I'm very pleased about that, okay? And let it continue, okay? Yeah, she's so knowledgeable. It's just unreal, my delicious little babies. Do you know what I mean, okay? Please, if you could listen to her. She's actually on Rumble. Okay, I usually go it, mornings with Mal Kay. Okay, my delicious little babies. Okay, yeah, because she does a lot of research. Okay, my delicious little babies. And yes, what I wanted to say yesterday as well, and I completely forgot. Because you got UK Columar, our lovely UK, because they're all just so lovely, okay, and our lovely Iconic and our lovely davidicke.com. With anybody not in that way, okay. But but if you want to go onto the actual website, it would be UK space column. That's all you'd need to type in, my delicious little babies, okay. So, but they are on YouTube, and I have advertised them, okay. But they've gone through a stage where sometimes they're on YouTube and sometimes not. And I did forget to say that, my delicious little babies, kind, but are banging out some marvellous videos. Now, I was also listening to some of them before I came on my camera, my delicious little babies, to you all. Yeah, well, yeah. Very interesting video, my delicious little babies, okay. Oh, and I heard and our lovely Iconic this afternoon, because they do an afternoon one as well, my delicious little babies. I think it's 3 days a week. The FDA, born in the USA, well, they're now stopping at the moment for little babies and pregnant women, bless them, okay. But when I was listening to this, it's only about just over 7 minutes. It's well worth a listen. Our lovely Iconic, on YouTube, or you can go on our, Iconic space Gareth space Ark, okay, because you'll find their channel there then straight away, my delicious little babies. Or you can go on our lovely davidicke.com, okay, and they'll be on there. Yeah. But when I was listening to Dear Jamie, bless him, I totally agreed. You see, for myself, I cannot stand that putrid RFK Kennedy in America, my delicious little babies. He's just not my cup of tea. Not a very nice man at all, I do not feel. Okay, my delicious little babies. That's just my view. You know, I'm a woman with a view. She'll have me effing view, and that's my view. But I totally agreed with what Jamie said when he said, you know, that really, you know, in America, you know, they've got to keep pushing it. I totally agree with that. Do you know what I mean? Because they could be showing themselves. Because I try to follow what I can. There we are, my delicious little babies, okay? So they make out that they're doing something, you know what I mean? When, you know, and they're not fully doing something, you know what I mean? My delicious little babies. But why am I mentioning this? Because this affects, there we are, the rest of the world. There we are, my delicious little babies. Do you see what I'm saying? Yes. So that's all of my information for today, my delicious little babies, okay? I am at some point going to get back to doing my readings, my delicious little babies, okay? I must get back to that because that was my original channel, my delicious little babies. Do you know what I mean? It's just that when I started to see, the sun's out now. Okay, my delicious little babies. It's just that when I was seeing what was going on in the world, it was just very much angering me, my delicious little babies. Do you know what I mean? Okay. And I find it very hard to keep my trap shut, my delicious little babies. Do you know what I mean? But I do not want to keep my trap shut because at the end of the day, what has been going on and how we've been treated as mankind and our beautiful little babies now, who we call our sons and daughters, okay? You know, little and large birdies, little and large animals, creatures great and small, how we've all been treated for decades and decades is absolutely disgusting and putrid, my delicious little babies. But UK column, the part I've got up to, they're talking about the vets as well, my delicious little babies. Well, I was talking about the vets. There we are, a long time back on a couple of my videos, my delicious little babies. Do you see what I'm saying? Yes. Because it's amazing when you're out and about, you know, and you stop and talk to others, you know, who have their little babies, you know, taking them for a walk and everything. Do you know what I mean? Okay. And I started to notice a pattern well before I ever spoke to somebody's daughter. Okay, my delicious little babies, okay. You know, so that's that really, my delicious little babies, okay. But I noticed a pattern there. We are long time. What was going on? Do you know what I mean, my delicious little babies, okay? That's why I do my best, myself personally, to stay out of the vets, my delicious little babies, just like I do my best to stay away from your not so friendly quacks. Okay, my delicious little babies, okay? So, yeah. So that's all I have to say, my little lovelies, okay? So, yeah, I will be getting back to my readings very shortly, okay? So, you know, so there may be, you know, I don't know, a few days where I'll just do not give out any information, my delicious little babies, you know, because I need to be banging out my readings as well, my delicious little babies. But thank you so very much for any views, for any likes, and for the occasional comments, okay? Like I said, at least I know somebody's listening to myself. And just before I go, yeah, I've got here, my delicious little babies, look at this. I've got, can you see it? I've got Greek yoghurt, my delicious little babies, well, they call it Greek style yoghurt. I've got honey, and I've got kiwi fruit, and I've got pineapple, my delicious little babies. All very good for you, my delicious little babies, okay? So I thought to myself, well, you know what I mean? So instead of like having, you know, like it would be so easy, wouldn't it, you know, or to go and get a biscuit or to do something like that. But I just prefer this, my delicious little babies, you know what I mean? I got a full bowl full. So I'm going to, there we are, I'm going to enjoy every mouthful now, my delicious little babies. And for my lunch, I had miso soup. Okay, my delicious little babies. Again, very good for you. I had fish, cod, you know, in my miso soup. my delicious little babies, okay? So until my next video to you all, okay, I hope that you do find the information that I give out they are most helpful. And I shall repeat once again, I did not wish to upset anybody or to depress anybody. But very sadly, there we are. This is the truth about what is there we are going on in the world. And very sadly, there are many mankind in the world who are really not aware that this is going on. Put it that way, my delicious little babies, okay? So until my next video, so much love. Sending peace, love, harmony and bright blessings. May your beautiful little selves and your beautiful little families all be fully protected. Please take care of yourselves and please try to take care of others. And we've got to continue to good vibrations. Okay? Love ya. Take care. Goodbye.